So to understand why I went to college, you have to understand a little bit about my family. My dad was from Oklahoma, the son of a Depression-era farmer, was a migrant laborer in the Grand Canyon in I guess the 20s or 30s when he was a teenager, and then was career military. But he only had a 7th grade education because of the farm and that kind of thing, and the opportunities that were not available to him as a young man. But he was a very smart man, and so he really believed strongly in education. My mother is an immigrant from Austria, had a high school education, and then when she came to the United States was able to do some college, but never finished her degree. But both of them valued education so much that my father, even with his 7th grade education, would sit down and go over my homework with me and my math. He was really good at math, and so until they got to the algebra and stuff, he could still help me with the math. So he always checked my homework. So it was very important, education. And I don't ever remember my parents saying, when you graduate from high school, these are your options. It was always that you were going to go to college. That was constant in their talking to me. And so there was never any doubt. So when it came time to graduate and start looking at colleges in my senior year, I started exploring where I wanted to go. And they made sure that we visited some colleges and talked about what I might want to do. When I was in 8th grade, my mom arranged for me to spend time at the Army Hospital in El Paso, where I grew up, to just see what are some opportunities for me and as a young woman. And that's where I first observed in the physical therapy department and was sold on this was going to be my career. And so from then on, it was that plan about where do you need to go, what do you have to do to become a physical therapist, what university do you want to go to. And they had taken me to visit the University of Texas when I was 4 or 5 years old. We lived in Killeen, and my mom had taken me to Austin. And she said, when I got back in the car, I told her that that's where I was going to go to college. Well, my dad was in the military, so she thought, well, we might not be even in Texas. But that stuck with me, and even when I started applying for colleges, the first place I applied was University of Texas in Austin, and that's where I went. So there was no doubt. I mean, in fact, it would have been odd if I hadn't gone to college. So that's how I ended up in college, and I'm still going to college.